So it's October 29, episode 4. Welcome back to the Everland Podcast. Lee Van Brink and Jay Fedig here with Everland Outdoors. And this week, I think, is a pretty cool podcast. We're doing a lot of reflecting on more or less your past week. A pretty exciting week for you. Before we get into all that, it's October 29, so things are happening. Yeah. It's actually happening too much for me, technically.
Because you're not in the woods?
No, because every time I go in the woods, the past week, I've seen Dave every single time that I've sat down.
I can't not laugh every time I just hear Dave.
Dave.
Yeah. You've seen him.
Physically laid eyes on him and watch where he goes, what he does everywhere besides where I'm at.
Praise God you get to see him though, dude.
I thought that too in the beginning. It's like, man, I was applauding myself because when I reflect on last year, I only had 2 encounters with him last year. And I've had on the one day I had more interaction with him than I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Which I thought was great because it means I feel like I'm hunting the property correctly. Last year I was very aggressive when I would go after him.
Sure.
I hunted the property more. I hunted mornings, and I'm seeing a big change in the deer themselves.
Yeah.
I see more deer. I just feel like they aren't as spooked.
Yeah.
But the downside is there's this 5-year-old that is I should say it shouldn't be a downside, but it is a downside because I haven't killed him. But every time I go hunting, I see him, but he's driving me absolutely nuts because he doesn't there is no rhyme. Maybe there is, and I just haven't figured it out yet,
Sure.
But there is no rhyme or reason why he's doing on the days that he does. So for example, first time I sat and I saw him, I was like, holy cow, I see Dave. Like, this is huge. I put myself in the right spot. He didn't pop out where I thought he would. So I sat and I was basically where I figured he was bedding. I more or less gave him the wind. So I was expecting if he's bedding in this swamp, he's going to use the wind and he's going to come out on this side of the swamp. Well, no, he walked with the wind in his back and popped out in the field on the other side. He walked with the wind at his back the entire time. He is on a little bit of a slope, so maybe there's more thermal pull there than I thought, but basically he just went that way. So the next night I'm like, same exact wind, same barometric pressure. It was like a spitting image of this exact same day. I'm like, well, he's done. I even told you, I'm like, would you sit where I sat?
Yeah.
Or would you go where he went last night? You said, go where he went. So I went where he went. And then I literally watched him urinate on the bush that I was sitting against the night before. Like, he just sat there and rubbed it and peed on it and was like, oh,
yeah,
Lee was here.
I got to cover up his scent.
Yeah. And it's just been a continuous, again, you look at him like, this is cool. I'm watching this deer, but it's eating me alive more than when I did not see him. Mm-hmm. It was the pursuit was fun of how do I get in front of this deer and see him?
Yeah.
Now it's just I see him and he's just doing random things every single day.
There's no real answer for that, right? There's no they're deer and they're going to do stuff. The cool thing is the way that I look at it is your property's set up enough, designed enough that you've had multiple encounters, multiple hunts where you're allowing that deer to live freely on the property. You've created the illusion that he's not being hunted. Mm-hmm. You're not going and buggering him. You've learned from year over year that last year when you're aggressive going in the mornings, and I think that's one of the biggest things that most guys do. They're so eager and so excited to hunt come October 1 that they start hunting mornings way too early. Mm-hmm. And then they struggle later in the season because then they're experiencing that full lull situation because they've just buggered up their own woods. Because I know it, I've only hunted 2 mornings thus far, killed on one of them, and the other one I bounced a deer on the way in. And so it's ooh, I don't like doing that. That's a big, for me on small 30, 40, acre properties, bouncing a deer is not my favorite thing. It's actually I know some people are yeah, no, Jay, it's not your favorite thing, blah, blah, blah. It's no, it's I don't do that. Like I don't like
You don't put yourself in a position to do
two
that.
bounce deer
Yeah.
very often. Like, I mean, and so like, yeah, in the rut in the morning, you're going to collide with deer on accident and all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, I'm doing everything that I can to design it and slip in and out and not encounter deer on the way in or out.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah, and so this is a 120 acre farm parcel that I'm hunting. It actually butts up next to my dad's property, which obviously I have permission to hunt, which is that's 40 acres. So in essence, I have 160 acres to actively pursue this deer. My concern is he's running around, like you said earlier when we were talking about this, he's running around like I'm the man.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want. It's just like he has to take 5 steps the wrong way and he's in the neighbor's lap. Like, again, it's Michigan. It's very common, but it's not. In my entire lifetime, I've never seen a 5-year-old deer this active, this daylight, like just free walking.
yeah.
But so far he's staying, like he's literally like staying on the property. I see him almost every time now.
Right. Which is, again, praise God, that's awesome, because how many guys don't get to see him, never see him, and how much more of a buildup is it going to be, the saga of
Maybe too
Dave.
much.
It's too much for you.
It is.
Yeah, I get
It's too much for my wife. Because every single time I go hunting, she looks at me and she goes, "Are you hunting tonight?" I was like, like I'm going, like tonight is the night, and I truly think that every single time I go.
Well,
like
I would too if I was seeing him that often, and he's in there.
Yeah, I have like his core area is narrowed down to 5 acres, 6 acres, but he has the ability, because it's a full on swamp with no trees in that swamp, so he has the ability to come out at any angle, any direction that he wants, and go to, if he goes to the south, it's a cut cornfield. If he goes to the north, it's a wheat field. If he goes to the east, it's he's got more cut corn, or he goes to the west, it's standing corn. Like he's got options.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have answers.
I need an answer.
The only answer I really have, and I think I gave it to you earlier though, is like it's time on stand.
It's time on stand, but that's my problem now, because I leave in 2 weeks for Kansas.
Yeah.
So I'm leaving for a week. My wife is very pregnant. And so
the one thing you don't have is time.
The one thing I don't have is time.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been battling this whole time, is like I full on thought, we all think this going into the season of your target deer that you slightly have a pattern on, that you think you're going to like get it done, and you're going to get it done in a reasonable amount of time. This is taking me much longer.
Well,
And I'm down to 2 weeks where I planned on backing off. Like when the hunting is at its absolute best, I was going off the grace that God blessed me with killing a giant bull this year, which my wife reminds me about constantly.
I'll start reminding you of that too.
Yeah. And then the fact that she's gracious enough to be mostly okay with me going to Kansas 2 weeks or 1 month before her due date.
Right.
So my plan was I would be like backing off hunting, like more or less. If I killed Dave, I'd be done hunting Michigan. There's only one other deer that I would consider, and I don't feel any pressure or need to pursue that deer after Dave.
Well, again, I'll just tell you, the buck that I had early season daylighting so regularly, he's gone, right? And so
you don't have to. Yeah.
I'm just telling you to try to make
Dave's leaving.
Dave's not leaving. I'm just saying that for me, it's like I'm looking at a deer that just disappeared, and I don't have any pictures of him, and I haven't seen him in a while. I'm still hopeful because I think he's still alive. He may not be, but I haven't heard from any of the neighbors that have killed him or anything like that. And it's a new farm, so I don't know all the neighbors exactly, but I know people in the area that do, and they communicate very well. And so like I just don't think that deer's dead yet. But I don't know. I just want to encourage you in the fact that like your pursuit of him and doing the right thing of like putting your wife first and saying like, I gotta be home. I gotta be doing these things. I gotta be honoring her like that. it doesn't mean you're going to kill this deer. Like, I mean, I know that everyone who wants to live that life, it's like, oh, because I did the right thing, he's going to bless me with that. It's like, no, there's nothing in the scriptures that talk about that. But at the same time, know and have peace in your heart that it's a deer. You want to kill him. It's going to be awesome. You're like, when you catch up to him, are you going to gun hunt there?
I can't. And that's the thing that I guess I left out and failed to mention is like November 15, the Orange Army moves in, landowner and his family.
Oh, they hunt.
They sort of. I mean, they're like the opening day. Last year they gun hunted 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
Dave, the neighbor, watched Dave slip by one of the gun hunters that they just apparently didn't see. So he barely escaped death last year. This active, I mean, he opening day. I want to be okay with knowing that I've had my opportunity at him, and they are going to capitalize on this. I'd be lying if I said that a part of me would be defeated if that happened.
It's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay to be honest about the situation. Like, I think that most guys struggle with that, where it's like, no, man, like 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago? I had a buck that I was really after, and I was really excited to shoot that deer, and I missed him opening day, and big, wide 10, split brows, really sweet buck. And I honestly didn't want to hunt after he died.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't even know. Like,
I would have. Yeah, again, I have like a sort of okay backup that I'd be.
Yeah, but you're probably like just done. If he dies, when you kill him, you'll definitely be done.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, I'm batting, or I'm basically down to 2 weeks with limited. It depends on how happy I would like to keep my marriage and my wife the next 2 weeks before I leave for Kansas. I feel blessed that I get to go to Kansas. I'm excited to hunt new territory with a good group of guys that we're going to have like a great camp and a great time. Nice. And I hope that like the fellowship there is like lets me forget about Dave. And I think it's good that I'm going to be gone during opening day of gun season. Yeah. So that way, like, I don't have to sit there and hear every single shot and think that's Dave. Oh, that one's Dave. That one's for sure Dave. I'm just going to get the text when I'm in Kansas and then take it out on the first next deer that walks in front of me. Because it's not.
I'm praying for you that you kill him before you go.
I appreciate that.
That off, you know.
I prayed for that a lot too. And then I've also, and it's funny, like because at the end of the day, God knows your heart. And so I'm not going to try to lie to God and say, I'm good with not doing this. It's like, I want this, but what I'm praying to him is like, truly let me be okay with not let me be okay with letting go.
Yeah. But can you surrender that to the Lord?
I'm trying. Yeah. I really am trying.
I believe you. And I think that's, to me, like that's the biggest hurdle that I face on a regular basis is like, I have to examine my own heart and know that the Lord knows my every thought. Mm-hmm. And just because I have a thought doesn't mean I've sinned. And so as soon as I've taken it, like the Bible goes into great detail from taking it from what does sin, it starts as a thought and then it builds and it builds and then it manifests and it becomes sin. And then all of a sudden you act on it and when you physically act on it. And so I just say that because like when this controls us and it's around all of our waking decisions, like we talked about before, like, the Reveal app is the first app that I open. Mm-hmm. Like, really? Like, I've made a commitment that the Lord's number one in my life, but right now the Reveal app in their seasons, right? And so it's like, but the sincerity in your heart to say like, Lord, I don't want to put this above you. I don't want to put this above my family. I want to be honest with you. I want to properly place Dave in my life so I can enjoy it and it's not driving me insane. You know what I mean? And like, if I get him, great. If I don't, okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to keep praying on that. Yeah. Hopefully that comes true because he's really humbling me right now. I like to think that if there's a big deer on the property, I can get on him. And yeah, he's holding true that for one, not every deer is the same and not every deer reads the script like they're supposed to. Like I mean, for one, who would think that a 5.5-year-old deer in Michigan would ever do like I've never seen it or heard about it, like just be this
Daylight.
at daylight. I
Just
mean,
run
like
around.
I have cameras kind of spread out across there, and like when I'm saying like he daylights, he walks in front of every single one of those cameras
In daylight.
in daylight,
Yeah.
and basically flaunts that, no, you're not here, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and I think that, again, I'll go back to that's a testament to you on your hunting strategy and approach, that he feels that comfortable that he's not getting hunted.
Yeah.
You know, you're not blowing your wind in the wrong spots. He's not getting, he's not glimpsing you. He's not catching you on the way in and out. And so it's just a matter of time before you guys cross paths.
Maybe
and
the
an
time
80-yard
that I don't
arrow
know.
gets shot.
So it was last night I hunted him, and he had a doe pinned down, and the doe left, and I was like, okay, next here comes Dave. Like, I don't know for sure if it was his doe, but a doe came out of the general area where Dave chased a doe into and was for sure gonna partake in some exercises.
Yeah.
She left that area, and I clocked her at 68 yards. I'm like, here we go. This is I was to that point. I'm like, I'm just so over this. And like, if he follows her, like I can't move. I was on the ground again last night. Cause when I was walking in, I was actually like scanning for a tree that I'm going to pop up in the saddle. And I basically snuck into where I general area where I needed to be. And next thing you know, I look down in the swamp and like bucks are chasing doe. Bucks are like, it was like I was elk hunting. Dave was in the center, the lead bull with his cow or his doe. And there was just satellite bucks just
all wanting to get
in there. So,
yeah.
so I basically sat down. I had a good spot. I was actually very well concealed, and I could have pulled it off last night, but yeah, it's just, it's the game of why we love this.
Yeah. Well, and I think if it was super easy and you'd already killed Dave, do you like one? I don't think Dave, like if I can tell you this honestly, I don't think Dave's humbling you. I think maybe it's the Lord, and as he walks through, like I look at the Hebrews passage and it says that whom he loves, he scourges. Like, I mean, like that's hard for most guys to digest, like in the fact that like he scourged his own son was beaten beyond recognition, and it's like that's pretty intense. And so we get shapened into his image, there's things that we go through in life. And I know some people are like, deer hunting, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, in all things acknowledge him. Like he gave you the passion for deer hunting. He gave me the passion for deer hunting. He created me this way where I enjoy these types of things. And so, yes, everything is molding and shaping us into his image, and it's all about me surrendering, and then I can release those things, and then they actually do take hold in my life. Versus the more I learn the same lesson twice, like I always make this analogy, is that if you're in school and you pass a test, do you have to take that test again? No. You only take a test again that you fail. Mm-hmm. And so when I'm like going through the same problem over and over and over again, I start to then like kind of look around and be like, oh Lord, what am I not catching here? What am I not realizing in this thing? And I think you kind of touched on it earlier of like truly surrendering him and just saying, Lord, I give this all to you. I give this day to you. I'll give Dave to you. It's all good. We're going out there. We're going to go have some fun. To your glory, let's just go have some fun. Dave will come right on by. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have to truly mean that. That's the thing.
And that's honesty, man.
Yeah, it is.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think that's harder for most guys to get to that place where it's like, am I really honest?
Am I saying this because I think it might benefit me, or am I saying this because I mean it? I believe
and now
it,
you're
and
just
I feel
looking.
it.
Now you're looking for that God is like he's a genie in a bottle, and you just want what your will to be done. You don't actually want His will to be done.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother level that we could get into. But like,
yeah, I'll continue praying on it. I'll hopefully continue hunting them. But yeah, so that's basically the story of my last week and where I'm at. We have pretty exciting dates coming up. You know, when this comes out is a week after Halloween. That puts us at November. It's
Second?
It's prime.
Yeah, it's deer
Prime.
flying
So
around, running
really
like crazy.
Yeah, there's no like telling you should be doing this time of year. It's like just
Time on stand.
time on stand, enjoy that time.
Yeah.
Maybe consider, like, I guess, reflect on like just your ability to be there.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Be grateful. And I would say one tactic though that I would throw out there is so many guys get all fired up about posting pictures of sandwiches and sleeping bags and all sorts of garbage that they're taking out to the stand and all that kind of stuff. Really strategically look at your hunting spots of like, is this a morning location or is this an evening location? Yes, we both just said time on stand is the strategy, but look at moving stands during the middle of the day and not necessarily sitting
saying this is my all day sit.
Yeah, this all day sit where you really go into the timber and you crush back into a bedding area and then you sit there all day stanking it all out and then expecting deer, they're not there in the morning, you sit there and then you're expecting them to come back through there in the evening. That doesn't really make sense. And so jumping out and maybe going to a transition area in between for that all day. There is a couple stands in this world that are, when I say a couple, there's a few that are all day stay in one stands. But I don't think there's as many as guys want there to be. And so they sit in one spot all day long for it's not a very valuable use of their time. And so,
I think what in Michigan, at least the persona where that comes about is like opening day deer season. Yeah. Deer getting pushed everywhere. Gun season is there's just getting like running for their lives.
Yeah.
So like, just maybe
hunker down.
Yeah. Hunker down. But I do like that. That's a good point to make going into this time frame.
Yeah. Just I'll make some crazy moves every once in a while where I'll because I do know that it's happening all day long and there's some crazy stuff. I'll hunt that morning in the bedroom, move to the transition from 11 to 2 and then get back out on the food for the last bit. And it might sound crazy, but to sit in 3 stands in one day is actually kind of sweet.
Yeah.
It gives you something to look forward to.
It makes the day go by a little bit
faster.
faster.
2:30, I'm going to make another move.
Yeah.
As long as you can do it, reasonable.
Right.
If you're crushing through your woods and just blowing everything out, one, you go back to the drawing board and, start over with your plan. But if you can make those moves, I like getting closer to the exit. And now, again, back to what our original conversation was, is I can't stand bumping deer. And so at night, now if I'm all the way deep, and I got to come all the way back through all that food and all that kind of stuff where I'm trying to draw deer too, I'm probably going to bugger them out of there. I'd rather come back and end in the evening, have an easier slip out, and then be able to do that again the next day.
Yeah.
So
one thing I noticed this past week too is it seems like November time frame where it's actually it's hard to see a doe because they're all scared and hunkered down. They don't move.
Yeah.
It's weird. It seems I understand the science behind a deer cycle but it seems early or the normal. Maybe it's again because I'm allowing that place to be unintruded more, and just natural and letting deer do their things without alerting them.
Sure.
That I'm seeing it more than ever. But right now, I mean, I'll sit over a field that beginning of the season and that I haven't even hunted yet, but I can see there was 10 or 15 doe in that field. And there's
Two.
Yeah, and then they come out right at last light,
so edgy,
scared, and
so
just
edgy.
take off running across the field to go to the next field. It's wild.
But it's now. And I won't get all super into it, but I kind of got nerded out a little bit with the stars and the cycles and why we have leap years and all this kind of stuff.
What?
I'm going to get to it. So we're talking about the calendar.
Yeah.
I and everyone's saying it's a lot earlier and stuff like that. And there was a whole bunch. I was actually talking to Kip Adams about this last year about how when deer shed their antlers and then the peel of velvet last year was earlier than ever before. So that's what kind of got me on to this whole thing. And no one really had a reason for it, why antlers were peeling so much earlier than that. This is a wild theory of mine. So
we're getting out there.
I really believe we're slightly off on calendar. that might sound crazy, but we're with a celestial calendar with the stars and the alignment and all that kind of stuff, and Hebrew calendar and different and the Essene calendar, all these different calendars that have existed through history, we're off a few days. And so it actually lines up to make more sense that we're earlier. So sorry, I told you this is a super nerd thing that I get into.
I guess I don't even know. I don't know enough about the calendars and that to ask questions on that. So
yeah, no, it's okay. That's why I was like, I'm not sure that I should really bring it up, but like I was really like digging into this, and I'm like, oh, it actually makes sense. Like these deer are behaving like it's the first, second, and third, and because 2 days ago that was the case.
Yeah, I'd be curious on the general consensus across like all the states. So if you guys are, I guess, witnessing this like early rut, we'll call it again because we've been trained and taught that the rut happens same time every single year. So just leave a little comment in down below.
Or if you think Jay's crazy, leave a little comment.
Yeah,
about his
I mean,
calendar and all that stuff.
Maybe like, or if you want to connect with and talk more about calendars, just leave that comment down below. Jay will reach out and you guys can talk calendars. I just didn't know that was a subject, and of like I thought the calendar is just like a day that for us to separate from the next day.
Yeah, they're generationally and through different people groups and tribes, and that's where you get like all sorts of crazy stuff where, you know, the Aztecs and the Mayans, they had their own calendar, and most of them are lunar calendars with the moon and the stars and all that stuff, where all that comes from. But they had created like, I don't know if you remember a while back that they were like, oh, the end of the earth is going to be now and all that stuff. That was based on their calendar.
I thought that was based off COVID.
You can't say that on YouTube. Can't say the C word anymore, buddy. No, that's funny. All right. Well,
yeah. So let's get back to the fun part of this is your last week.
Yeah. Last week was a hoot. I mean, I was blessed beyond belief to I think I got to start with the thing that like touched me the most is like all of a sudden my oldest got the itch. And
yeah, so I guess I'm gonna pull up that map and get that video ready. But like, I kind of reflect a little bit back because previously he didn't have the itch.
No, and so this was like a fun story for me because he wanted to hunt a couple years ago, and granted he's super young, and so he's only 9 now, and so a couple years back. We got out, we had some fun. He loved watching deer, and every time we would go to pull the trigger, and he had there was one year, there was an encounter with the same buck 3 different times, a 4.5-year-old in Michigan.
So he was in the same boat as I am right now.
He could have pulled the trigger though. Yeah, like he literally could have pulled the trigger, and it's just like he would get, you know, super buck fevered, and it was awesome. And like one time it was awesome because I hope he doesn't care someday he'll see this, but like he was like, he was so jacked up. And he's like, all right, turn the safety off. I'm on him. Turn the safety off. And he's like, turn the safety back on. And so I turn the safety back on, and he's like, what is happening? And I'm like, it's called buck fever. And he's like, I don't like it. And so like, he's like, really, what's happening? I'm like, it's adrenaline, dude. And he's like, I don't like it. And I'm like, all right, just calm down. Let's just relax.
We don't have to do this.
It was so awesome because like he stopped and he prayed, and he was like, Lord, give me the ability to do it. And he was all going back and forth because he really wanted to. He didn't do it. Mm-hmm. And so then the last year he took a break and he just didn't want to do it. And so we were down in Kentucky for the youth season with my other son, and he was down. We're all down there as a family, and all of a sudden we were sitting on the deck, and he was like, "I think I get it now. I want to try it again. I want to go." And so we went down there. We didn't get a buck down there, but we came home, and I was like, "All right, well, we can keep hunting in Michigan. But we just you got to switch."
Like, what do you think on the sitting there on the deck? Like, what do you think was like the thing that like he just decided like he's ready, he wants to try it again?
I think just age and just him like really processing the fact that like he didn't really know. My wife had had a really good conversation with him about like, hey, why don't you actually try it and pull the trigger once and see then how you feel after that? Mm-hmm. And he was like, huh. And I'll give a shout out to Mark Rober. He has a YouTube channel that kids watch and all that kind of stuff. And he says all the time that failure is part of the process. And he's like he worked on the Apollo project or something, astronaut guy and stuff like that. But he's super fun, relational to kids and stuff like that, and teaches them engineering and all that kind of stuff. But he's just started to really ponder that and think that through. And he's like, all right, well, I guess I want to try it before I make a decision on whether I really like it or don't like it. And so I think that was really it. I really don't know. And then we went out, and praise God, we had just like 2 amazing sits. Weren't seeing any deer. They were amazing because we had just an amazing conversation and fun time together and just hanging out. And then we got home. He was like, I want to keep hunting. I was like, all right, let's grab the crossbow. And he flung a bunch of arrows that afternoon. And then we were like, all right, let's fire off and go. And we jumped up in the blind, and as soon as we got out there, like it was like 15, 20 minutes out there, the world's smallest spike. I mean, I don't even think I could have tagged it as a legal Michigan 3.5 inches of tine walks out. And he's like, can I shoot it? And I was like, oh buddy. I was like, let's just wait. We got about 2.5 hours of daylight. I was like, I don't know. But I was just tickled because then right shortly thereafter, 1.5 old 7-point walks out, and he is just fired up, and it's this deer's like, I don't know, 90 yards away, and I'm like, there's really no way he's getting out of this food plot if he comes through the way that I think he's going to. I'm like,
so like on
yeah,
where did he come out? I was curious, like when you create this food plot, like we were kind of unsure if they're going to pop up by right next to the pond or like further down. And
so he actually came out from like the creek side. So all the way on the west side on that trail, and was walking straight in. But he marched straight in and came all the way across.
From the creek.
From the creek. So he come down that trail that goes to the creek. They both came in through that. And then he came and marched all the way across it, and he was going through it on a diagonal going east the whole way. One thing that I found in that farm is most of the deer in that farm are going east out of there. So they're releasing and going to the fields across the road. And then in the morning, they're all coming back. And so, I think that's what he was doing. And he was just working his way through. And so he came right on along past the blind, in that food plot in the northern part of the property.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And, he came in and he gave him a perfect shot, and, 30-yard perfect broadside. And I mean, arrow placement was money. And we sat there till dark. I'm not going to lie, I grabbed my bow super fast because that deer was like, I knew he was dead. And I set the tripod and the crossbow and everything aside because I knew there's shooters in there. And I was like, oh, we're going to sit for the last 45 minutes and make sure that deer is dead. I knew it was piped, but I'm like, we're going to sit here until dark.
So how did he do after the shot?
Oh, he was very much so wanting to just go get the deer. And he also had to go to the bathroom real bad, which required a back to the cabin bathroom. Oh, yeah. And so so he was very, very fidgety for that last 35, 40 minutes of sitting.
But like overall, so he was unsure of how he was going to.
Oh, he was so fired up. Just praising the Lord. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Like, that was the coolest thing ever. Like, he was so fired up. And now he's a little bummed to find out that a mentored youth tag in the state of Michigan, he's only allowed 1 buck. He's not excited about that. He's asked twice.
He wants to go more.
Yes, he's asked multiple times how many does he can kill, and I'm like, well, we can go back down to Kentucky, and he was like, I don't know if I want to go that bad. He's like, I do want to kill some more does, but
and the last time we were there, we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't see any much, and so he doesn't want to go that bad, but But it was just really fun. Like I really enjoyed that much more so than, I enjoyed killing a deer last week too. So it got even sweeter for me. Is killed him on Monday. Friday morning, there's a buck that moved into the house here.
Yeah, we'll take a look, pull up your house property here. So as you explain it,
that was just cool because the week prior we were gone, and then while I was gone, I got a buck that moves in to the house that, well, looking back at pictures, found out we did have him the year before, but just kind of overlooked him.
Yeah, originally you got a picture of this deer and you're like, I have no idea this.
Right, I thought I didn't know him. But then when we were looking back through last year's pictures and stuff like that just now, or a couple days ago, found photos of him last year and was like, oh yeah, he just kind of came through, hit and miss. He was like kind of the same time frame. He wasn't in here for very long. It was a few days, few pictures of him. That's it. So he showed back up, and then he was here. I can't remember the date that he showed up. I think I want to say like the 23rd or something like that. And he was daylighting just almost every day and going back and forth. Bed to food. It was like exactly how we designed the property, to bed down in the creek bottom, move their way north up to the food plot, and then a release out into the neighbor's hayfield, then to the
So that's
neighbor's
that
cornfield.
hayfield. So you're looking at the property here that Jay's talking about, and so that's north of your house is
Yep.
where they're all going to.
Yep.
And then the food plot that he was going to is that the one to the west, kind of northwest there, or to the south?
The northwest, the northwest one. Well, he was coming because I killed him in the morning. So he was actually on his way back from the ag fields back through cross. He kind of skirted the edge of that food plot and was coming on his way back into bed. And he was frantically checking for does and all that kind of stuff. And it was a fun hunt. Like, he showed up right at first light. Like, I mean, legal light. I checked the time because I had just got in the set, and there was a doe that got right underneath me right away, and I wasn't thrilled. She blew, and I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Like, she got my boot tracks, and then she just kind of moved off, and so that I finally got, like, set up and all that, and I was thinking, man, like, I don't know what, like, hopefully there's like a 45 minutes until daylight, because I was like, I just wanted to calm back down. And so I checked the time or whatever, and it was like 10 minutes to first light. And I was like, bugger, whatever. But it got light, and now it's like I'm checking, and I just hear a buck coming in, and I was like, oh, that's definitely a buck. I can tell by the way it's walking. And I looked, and it was him, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, I was like, this is sweet. Got super fired up, grabbed a bow off the hook. He got to 20 yards. Wanted to go drew back on him, and I'm like, I can't see this deer. So couldn't see him, and lowered back down. I was like, he's now at 15 yards. I'm thankful that deer was in there, because the doe before, because he's at 15 yards, I can't shoot him. He keeps wandering back and forth trying to smell where this doe was. He's going all over the place, back and forth. He was literally there for another like 5-10 minutes, and I'm like, all right, now it's enough light. Draw back again. And then he moved, and I'm like, oh, crud. He comes back again, draw back. I'm like, I got him. All right. He's like literally 15 yards. And take a shot, swing and a miss. No idea.
Straight miss.
No idea what happened. Just, wha-cha, this pop. And I'm like, hit something hard. Definitely not him. And he jumps away, and I'm like, oh. And like, it was like the immediate thought in my head was, it's over. Like, he just missed. And I didn't even think to go grab another arrow. And then I just hear, bah. And I look right off my shoulder, and there's this little spike horn that's grunting at him.
Meanwhile, this deer that he just shot at still standing there.
He is standing at like 25 yards. And I'm like, what am I doing? And so now I'm frantically grabbing it. I'm like, he's still in bow range. Like, it was just like a whole, like, I missed it. It's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about it. But then I was like, oh my, I'm still in a fight here. You know what I mean? And so I grab another arrow, get it knocked, and the little spike horn comes up and grunts again. The buck that I shot, he goes over and makes a rub on a tree. I can't shoot them. They're both within inside 20 yards. The spike literally goes right underneath me. They go over, and they're 20 yards in front of me. There's two big trees that separate me, and I'm like trying to look around them, trying to figure this out. I'm like, okay, the only way he can go, I have lanes on both sides of these trees, and so it's like, the only place he can't walk is if he walks straight away from me. I don't have another shot at this deer. And so I'm like, all right, Lord, like, just have him step out at some point. And I'm sitting there, and it is forever. I can say it was 5 minutes. It felt like a lifetime. I have no clue how long it was, but it felt like a very long time. And then finally he worked his way back to where I originally shot at him, and he's standing right over my arrow, trying to kind of figure out what happened there.
Right.
And I go to draw back on him, and he does he's perfectly broadside when he's stepping out. I'd go to draw back, and I just get my moleskin's gone off my rest, and I just get and like he just looks and steps and is facing straight up at me. So I'm like, And I was just like, well, I just committed to full draw, and I was like, he was 15 yards, and so I just put it right in the neck area.
So it was like kind of in between the brisket and the shoulder.
Yeah, just tucked it in
neck
there.
nation.
Yeah, it was. It's definitely one like it was like I was emotionally invested. I was all over the place.
And headspace, you're not present fully.
No, second shot, dude. I don't really know what's going on. Like, do I take that shot every time? Yes, but do I recommend taking that shot every time? No. Is it like one that I really wanted to take? No, but like it's like I'm gonna take that shot when that deer's staring at me after round 2. You know what I mean? And so took that shot, and it absolutely destroyed him.
It destroyed it. I saw that.
Yeah, it destroyed. It worked. He ran and smashed into a tree, and he didn't go maybe 30 yards. I don't know, 40. I'm not really sure.
Maybe 40.
Maybe 40.
Maybe 40. Yeah. So Jay calls me. I was already on the way here, and like he texted me and said, I don't know what you said, like I got him or something, or like big bucked out, or I don't know what you texted me. And I like looked outside and like it's only been light out for like 5 minutes. I'm like, what in the world? So I'm like, yeah, I'm on my way. So I got here and it was cool. He had the wife and the youngest.
Yeah, my youngest. Yeah. That's 2 years in a row. I put this together 2 years in a row. That same tree stand. The only 2 mornings I've ever sat in that tree stand, I've killed a deer.
Wow.
And tracked it with my youngest.
That's cool.
On a Friday. Yeah. Last year was November 1st. This one was the 24th, I think, of October. So, yeah, it was super fun. Had a great time.
Good deer too. Good 10.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you say so? Last year, he only popped in your place for a little bit, and now
that's what I'm thinking, because I try to look and try to find more pictures of him, and I think I found one more picture of him, but it's not very great, and it was like the 30th, so it looked like it was like the 24th when he showed up, or the 22nd, I think, last year, and he showed up, and he was out of here by like the 30th, and so like it looks like the same type of time frame. He came in for a small window and then bailed. And so there's one picture that I found of him this summer that I'm like, could be him.
Yeah.
Not sure. It's very early, just a wide frame buck, no tines yet. And I'm like, that could have been him. But like, at that point, it's hard to tell. So, yeah. And there's a couple in here, so they get confusing at that stage. So,
yeah. Well, that is a really exciting week.
Yeah. It was a good time.
Yeah.
It was super fun. I'm off to Illinois on Friday.
Are you like? Did you just officially?
I made plans. I called and got a new lease out there. Literally don't know what is going to happen. I have yet to step foot on it, but I got a dear friend that is helping me out big time with all he's really done is been out there, and he's like, there's 3 sets that somebody left from like 10 years ago that he cut some branches on.
Yeah, so like, you have to more or less, you're more or less showing up to a new farm from scratch.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
Yeah.
And you guys do have cameras out there though, and it's just like
there's a couple mature deer that we've gotten on camera, but nothing like I'm like gonna probably kill in Illinois yet. I think there's 5 cameras that were hung on 240 acres, and 2 of which are actually sending pictures. So
have you hunted Illinois before
in my career?
Yeah. In your life?
Yeah.
Your career?
In my career. Yeah. One time.
Okay. Not this place.
Not this place. Okay. Not even in this zone.
Is it mostly timber, mixed of ag? Because you're northern Illinois, right?
Yeah, so it looks aerial wise, it looks exactly like what you wanna hunt in. Like
when you picture hunting the Midwest, Illinois, Iowa,
fingers and draws and all that, and it's exactly that. So should be a good time. Like I would imagine there's gonna be some good deer in there.
There's gotta be.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there doesn't have to be, but there should be.
Though, yeah. I don't know how long I'm gonna hunt for. I'm kind of looking forward to like the solo hunting and just seeing what's up and figuring things out and seeing what the Lord has for me out there and goofing around and
At least bring a camera though with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I got them all jazzed up, and we'll see what's up.
And you're more or less, you got 5 sets hung, but you have no idea if they're in the right place. He doesn't know if they're in the right place. The cameras by the sets, or
I don't even think there's, sorry if I said 5 sets. I think there's like 2 sets. There was 2 sets that were there. And there's
You're
5
straight
cameras.
running, gunning.
There's 5 yes. I'm straight just figuring. And I learned a little bit about the property from a buddy. It's like where he's just kind of like, there's not very many trees. It's just brush.
Yeah.
Everywhere that they haven't planted, it's just brush, you know, and it's because it's just hills and draws and vegetation that he's like, there's not many trees to get in even. So
if only you saddle hunted, you could just.
he was saying that it's not even that great for saddles.
Oh.
He's like, they're all just bent, twisted up things that, you know, they're all the scrub stuff that don't even come off the ground very far and all that stuff. So, you know, but we'll see.
It'll be fun though.
Yeah, I really look forward to it. I didn't go elk hunting, so I'm excited for just adventure and trying something out this year.
Have you checked the weather? What it's supposed to be down there?
I haven't. I literally haven't. I was trying to check it I was going to check it to figure out when I was going to go and all that kind of stuff. But I just was like, at this point in the year, dude, I'm just going to get out there and I could wait and go a little bit later, which would probably be better, but I kind of want to capitalize on just getting out there and having fun by myself and figuring it out. So, yeah, one of my buddies might show up on Monday out there. So,
Right on.
yeah. So it'll be good. It's November, like tomorrow, so seems crazy. Then it's also going to be the 15th.
Yeah, and then I'll be in Kansas, which I'm really, like I said, I'm really looking forward to that trip.
That's
Kansas
awesome.
has like it's just one of those special places. I love hunting Kansas. Every time I go there, I have a enjoyable experience. I think it's not even about there's definitely big deer, and I've seen really big deer hunting there. But again, new area, so and it's like more or less public land. I drew a zone. It was a draw zone inside of the unit that I drew for Kansas. So it's like a special hunt property. I think they allow 80 people per year to hunt there, and it's 2,000 acres. So big area, should be in Kansas should be fairly unpressured. I honestly was not when the group that we're going with, we applied for 3 of these places and wasn't expecting to draw either of those, but Adam and I both drew. My other 2 buddies are going to not, but luckily it just butts up to like your normal state land, public land that they get to hunt. So
Gotcha.
Rented a cabin on a lake, and
oh wow, now you're making me jealous.
yeah, it's gonna be good.
That.
Yeah, I've done, knock on wood, I've done well for myself. Kansas treats me right. It's always unique how I think that those deer, when you compare them to like Michigan or honestly even a couple other Midwest states, they just seem to do different things in Kansas, which is always fun to figure out and almost throw away everything that you think a deer will do. Like from my experience, I show up and they just do completely opposite, and like why would he do that? And it's just they're unpressured, they're just wandering.
Yeah, that's why I love Kentucky. It's like it's hard to see a deer where we hunt in Kentucky, but when you do, and if you make a mistake, they're kind of like, "Oh, hey, fella,"
Yeah,
and then they just like keep going about their business.
Yeah.
You know, you can have some fiery does that are nuts, and like they're just staring at you, and it's like, "Holy cow!" I feel more pinned in a tree here than I do in Michigan sometimes. But like, for whatever reason, those bucks down there are just, you know, you get away
I think
with
it's that southern, like just calm, relaxed personality.
It just goes with the animals too.
does.
It just flows into them.
It is.
Yeah.
Must be the weather.
I don't know. There is something about like I do believe this. Like you get west of the Mississippi, and I mean, I love our Michiganders. I love people in Illinois and Ohio and all that kind of stuff. But you get west of the Mississippi, and it's like you're family to the people at the gas station. And there's something about that that's like, I just try to take that home every time because, like Christ has said, it's like in the simplicity of love God and love people. It's like they just wear that. Like they rely on each other. They like each other, like communities, even if they have a spat or whatever, it seems like they just do better living together. And I always am just blown away by the
Much
Midwest.
calmer and relaxed too.
Yeah.
It's not like a rushed lifestyle.
Everything isn't so have to be fast.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they don't like me in Kentucky because when I'm down there, like I'm always speeding the guys up. One of the guys, he's such an awesome dude. He's just like, he like intentionally just goes like super slow to try to like slow me down. And it's funny. And like he hangs out and we hang out down there and he's just always like, one of these days I'm going to get you to not be so anxious. And I was like, I didn't even realize that I'm anxious. And I'm like, praise God that I have this dude in my life to, he looks at me like I'm anxious because of how fast I'm always trying to do things.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, all right, well, maybe the Lord's trying to show me I just need to slow down. So that's what I'm doing this weekend.
Well, let's definitely slow down the next 2 weeks of season because we're looking at arguably the best time of the year. It's I guess I challenge everybody to, as you're just sitting in the stand, like put away like how many deer you're seeing if you're in the right spot and just like enjoy this time because it goes so fast. It's like everything else, anything that you enjoy just goes so fast. And this is what honestly what every deer hunter loves and like lives for. And like it's a good time. So enjoy your time in the woods. As always, we appreciate you listening to us.
Yes.
Hopefully, if you do enjoy listening to us, you can leave us a little 5-star review. It helps us. Appreciates you guys for everything. So we're going to continue to hunt, bust out some more maps, and
check us out.
Yeah,
check us
so
out
if
on
you're-
the website, Everland Outdoors too, and check out the maps. Love to help you guys mapping any of your properties. Or any
yeah.
of that
So
kind of
this
stuff.
is we didn't even touch on this. We flew this. This is your farm here, your home area. It's 40 acres. It literally flew it the day that you killed your deer.
Yeah.
Because you killed your deer and like, oh, let's show this on the podcast. And we talk about it. And we're like, well, we haven't even mapped it yet. I'm like, well, that's perfect. Let's do this right now.
Yeah.
So this is a fall map. And as you can see, is
beautiful colors,
Beautiful colors.
They're beautiful imagery and all that kind of stuff to get that printed out and walk through with all your guys, anybody hunting your property, you yourself telling stories. They just enrich the stories. They just make it so much more clear for everybody, and they're amazing. So check them out, and thank you so much for tuning in.